Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're back in our gas course project, our Deck Knight project, using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, the gameplay, the system plugin, and all that good stuff. Today, we're going to continue, of course. We're going to be working on our Dagger weapon. And the stuff with the daggers is, let me show you. We have a combo, which I'm starting to like, but I also don't like, so I need to figure out what should be improved, because like, for example, the second hit of the combo is like kind of like 3 or 4 hits in a row, so I might want to move that just so you have kind of like a one-to-one tapping kind of thing, but we'll have to see. But we also added a charge that you can have loose control over, so you can kind of turn and deal damage with, so that ends up looking pretty sweet, I think. So you got this basic kind of dagger thing, and then you can charge and go wheel. There's also a special roll attack. So it's all coming together pretty cool, I think. We'll have to figure out what the general loop's gonna be with the dagger, like what's gonna make it kind of special compared to like a sword. It's definitely gonna be with the special attack for sure. Like I wanted to kind of have some play with the basic combo, so like the basic combo does something, maybe like a couple hits in a row or something, puts on some sort of status effect onto the enemy, and then after that time you can do this kind of dash thing and it does like huge damage or something. So we'll see. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. But what I'm going to work on today is adding the ability to like apply multiple daggers on the weapon component, or on the weapon itself. Because right now it pretty much only supports just one singular weapon as your primary weapon, but this has to be represented as 2. So we're gonna figure that out. Snezana Stoyanovich. Thanks for the follow there on YouTube, much appreciated. So yeah, that's going to be our goal today. So let's get started. Let's take, we're going to do everything within the weapon right now. So let's go to Dagger. Yeah, weapon daggers, right? So we have this static mesh for Dagger. And it should be kind of applying already, but it doesn't seem like it's working. So we might, what I'm thinking, let's first see why this is not even appearing, because that's kind of weird. Like there should be something in the player's hand, but there isn't. No primary weapon slot, all good. Probably something in our logic, of course. So when we construct the weapon component, instantiate base skeletal mesh, this is weapon skeletal mesh. So basically, we should get here, which we do. All seems fine. But then we also call activate weapon to hand. Yes. Okay, so that's our problem. We check if it's a skeletal mesh, if that's valid or not. If it's not, then we bypass it, right? Which, problematic. We need to support both cases. So let's go ahead, go into our components. It said weapon, static mesh component. We say, hey, this is valid. Then I gotta do something similar to what we did, because I think it's an instanced static mesh, so I have to go down here where we have to add the instance and static mesh. Eventually we're going to be moving this stuff to code, but for now let's just make it as neat as we can. Down here. We need to get base weapon data, split that. Reload. Set blocking is fine for now. Pass to static mesh. That. We also have to add the instance. And hopefully we can just kind of do similar stuff here. Like, I should be able to maybe even just grab this, right? So don't know if this is going to work, but there's only one real way to find out. So let's plug that in. Well, that's also a problem, right? So let's grab you, connect that. That should be it. So let's look. Do we have anything in our hand? No. We have something sticking out of our ass, though. So it might be just how the weapon is offset. So let us make everything 1-to-1, how it's needing to be. Let's check again. Okay, still offset pretty roughly. So let's go into our skeletal mesh and see what's happening here. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That was my mom getting me a international driver's permit, so all is good there. Where were we? We have to go into the elf character. And let's just see how bad the offset is. Because I guess the mesh itself might have a weird pivot. Maybe we would have to fix it ourselves, but let's look. No. That's the pivot. It seems normal, honestly. And I'm not sure why it's not textured either. That's kind of weird, but whatever. Oh yeah, let's just take it one thing at a time. So go into our skeleton. And which socket am I putting this bad boy in? So hand R socket. So let's grab Dagger and let's just attach preview asset Dagger like that. So that seems fine. Because it's not world space. Let's just see. So remove this so I don't get confused. Because yeah, I add the instance, but then I also attach it, right? So maybe that's the problem, is I'm not attaching it. I'm gonna grab you. Should be able to just take this. That active weapon equipment data, all good, but that's the projectile. So let me grab that. Hey, thanks for the subscription there, Odeslaw. Much appreciated there on YouTube. So we want base weapon data. So hopefully that makes more sense now. Like, again, we're not doing anything special with the location or anything, so there you go. Yeah, we got the dagger. It's pretty cool. But honestly, we're gonna have to update the locomotion mode and stuff at some point. But for now, it's cool. Let's remove that and just double check. Go in our hand. Yes. The beans. So what I think I can do is, like, I could do me. I was gonna say could do myself a favor. Now you can say in a hand. There should be like an L socket, I guess. Right? And L. I guess I could just make it. This is sort of offset as well. Can I copy this? In terms of like the relative location, probably not. But change the coordinate space here. Seems reasonable. We'll find out though. So we can do name. Do that. And now what I should hopefully be able to do, and I would probably need to do this across the board, is for each loop. Keys. guessing do something to this effect. Honestly, if I could do a switch, but I'll do that in code when we migrate it. So I would probably have to add an instance for each of this if I'm gonna guess. So that. So that. Get errors, of course, but we're not done. Let's grab that transform. There. So hopefully that covers our cases. If I play, I should have 2. Yeah, let's play. Do we have 2? No. But it is in the left hand, which means we are iterating. So we're adding an instance. So I think the problem is the attachment, maybe? Can't attach that. So let me... Now, if I bypass this for now, what's the outcome? Also put a breakpoint, and let's find out. So we'll get here. Do I have 2 indices? Yes. Okay. Then we add an instance, load static mesh, and then we update the relative transform, which again, I don't think is going to be what we want. Yeah, so it's all kinds of messed up. But I don't know if I want to... Can I make 2? Well, this is a general question. Should I make 2 weapon static mesh instant components, or can I like get instance? Let's update instance transform. Doesn't, like, I add the instance. If I make this world space, probably not going to be good. Right? Yeah, it's no longer on me. It's, yeah, somewhere over there. Do I like attach it? Because yeah, if I attach, maybe at the beginning. Do it, and then not one space. Something around. How should this work? Add an instance, but I guess I have to. We're gonna do something funky. Change that to an array. Fine. I think we could just do the length -1. Just do a for loop. So that's that. And then get down here. Let's maybe do a for each loop. Each loop, attach it, hoping I can do a and just pass along the proper transform data. So we attach into the form. And then each instance, we go here. We add instance. So I've already loaded the static mesh, so this seems to be redundant. So in the end, maybe it's not such a big deal. I can fucking plug this in correctly. Oh. Let's try this now. Do we get 2 daggers? We do. Honestly, his idle pose is not the best, but if we slow things down, he's moving the way we want. So that works. Looks pretty sick. We got our daggers now, which I'm happy about. Now, like, again, I don't know if I like the way that combo works. So let's think about that for a second. Sorry, I'm just writing on a message. Okay, let's look at the demo map. with a dagger. Now let's look at some more animation. Because the things that I potentially want to avoid, like more of these extravagant, like mid-air things, like it could be the final hit, like this one. Maybe that could work. It's not what I want. Open up this one. Let's just open up with the ones that we think could work. It's the first hit of our combo. Let's find it. The flow has to be preserved, I guess, right? So the first hit of the combo is this. It's a spin. And we end up here. Now, that's fine. So I want to replace the second hit, right? And so the first hit ends dabbing on the haters, but basically left to right, which is, I believe, almost this. Which I think might also be like this one. Yeah, it's a final spin. Third hit is this side, right? So I should be able to maybe move this one as 2. Then maybe this one as 3. And then this one as maybe the last one. Let's try that out. That was a lot of sphere traces. It's just a static sphere trace. If you're referring to the dash ability. Oh. Yeah, now we're breaking. So I need to add the sphere traces, I guess. But the one sphere that's around the player when he's doing that like kind of dive spin, it's just one trace that we attach to the player as he kind of moves through. So hopefully it's not going to be too bad for performance. Okay, now the issue is how do we return, you know, possibly multiple weapons, I guess. Because I think this is where the crash is coming in. But also we shouldn't really be using weapon. So we'll have to look. Let's fix this. Open everything back up. Look at our table for our trace data. So character mesh, character mesh, character mesh. So should be okay. Well, let's look at our combo. Unless you, yeah, also if you're talking about these traces and stuff, it's just the debug. It's not that many traces. So with the combo. So it crashed on the first one. Well, let's look at it. So we're doing full body. Just character mesh. So fortunately, we're going to have to just make it crash. Oh, there's a compile error. Aha. So I think I need to change the signature for this as well. For now, let's just get a copy and just do the first one, just so that compiles. So we attack, we get here, right? Well, I don't understand why the trace object is weapon. That's confusing me. Do we ever get to here? No. So that's bizarre. So switch on in trace data. Something is wrong. So let's figure that part out. There's a lot of stuff open as well. Fuck that. Breakpoint. Let's do an attack. So not sure why it default or is it set to weapon. So where are we calling get mesh component? Here. So I don't think I think we missed that information actually in this code. Should be able to say melee request dot because there is collision shape, but there was here dot trace object, right? Hopefully that's correct now. Put another breakpoint there. And let's do it again. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it doesn't break everything. But... okay. Because the trace object should be character meshed when we hit this breakpoint. So trace object, still weapon. Which is confusing. Well, let's go up here. So bam. Trace data. So for some reason, even up there, the trace data object is wrong. So where am I calling this? Could it be in the notify state, I'd imagine. Here. We do create shape from road data. I guess we're also not doing correctly. So maybe here. So trace data dot trace object. I'd imagine that's correct. So let's compile and try again. You know what they say, the 10th time is the charm? A classic mistake, if you ask me. Theory. Should. Should have all the right data now. Let's see. Let's open everything back up. Okay. Seems like we get a crash. Not good. Not sure why. Let's just conform to the definition of insanity and just keep trying. Material issue, that's fine. So we get here. No, so it's in character mesh, so that's good. Let's see. Draw our collision shapes. Yep. Cool, but I suspect the crash is going to be in the editor. So let's open up a montage and just see what happens. Seems fine. Maybe it was a fluke. So let's go to the Dagger combo. So we have 1, 2, but there was that other one that we wanted to use. So let's go back to the map and find that one again. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was either the third, probably the third combo. Let's see. It was this one. Hi, how is your melee combo buffering working? Is the whole combo a gameplay ability? So I will show you. So what I'm doing, I'm using State Tree to drive the combo. I will make this a little bit bigger for a second. Essentially, when we grant the weapon, we also slot in an override for State Tree. And so the State Tree has a task where I'm listening to input events and then ejecting them as State Tree events for transition purposes. And so I start here in idle. And when we detect a basic attack, we get this input event and we drive State Tree transition. So we get the light attack triggered. We check to see if we're dodging. If so, we go to the evade attack. Same thing with the air attack if we're falling. But if none of those are true, we transition to melee combo 1. And in melee combo 1, we are granting and activating this ability. So GA melee base, which has information about warp distances, all these bindable things that are going into the actual ability itself. A tag in which the chooser is reading from to see which montage to play, and then playing it. And in the montage itself, we have these tracks for input buffering, which basically is blocking any transitions from happening and blocking the input from being sent. And then anything recorded will be sent at the end of the input buffer, and then things kind of continue to transition that way. That's, in short term, how it works. I think I want this to be how our combo ends. So let us retarget this. I was thinking about making a long form, not tutorial, but a long form video discussing how these state trees are working and how the weapons are working. Because, I think it's done pretty well. And the reason why I'm using state tree is just because it's, a statefulness. You can transition and it works as like a combo graph. I had to do a lot of custom C++ thing for like this state tree task, this grantability dynamic task. Just so, because it reads the parameters of the gameplay ability and reflects them here and then copies them into the instant object when the ability is granted. So you basically just set the data in here. And you can see some of the information, like for example, when I have the motion warping debug turned on, you'll see these warp targets updating and stuff like that. I'll turn off my collision shapes for a second. But you can just see how the warp target updates as I'm moving around and doing these combos. Yeah, so it all works pretty well. So is every attack sequence in the combo separate gameplay ability? No, they're not. Unless it's like a special needs kind of thing, like the hold one is a special requirement to be able to move around that. But all of them are coming from GA melee base. And so the exposed parameters of the GA melee base allow you to inject whatever animation you want, and it responds to hit events. It plays hit stops if you want them. Like I'll have to update some stuff to clean it up a little bit. Like there's also damage that's handled here, which may or may not be required. We'll have to see if we want to do it internally or do it somewhere else. But yeah, it's all handled within this melee base. Handles all the warp target stuff for when you don't have a target, when you do have a target. It does the targeting itself as well, or this target preset. So yeah, it's all one ability, and each state handles it differently with these gameplay tags here. They're in the chooser, So basically, when you pass along that gameplay tag, we evaluate this chooser to see which one you want to pick, and then we play that montage and that ability. So did I retarget this? I don't think I did, right? No. So we'll set up this one together. For animation. Should be able to create this montage. Just move it into our Dagger. Don't need to connect to Perforce. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Well, we'll have to mark it up, but we also have to add root motion to it. So we do the motion warping. Motion, thank you. So now we can use the other melees as the examples here. We have the translation and rotation tracks. Let's take a look at this thing. So we blend in. Oh, this is rotation, I think. No, this is translation. So yeah, we want to translate, and then maybe around here is good. In general, it might be. Well, personally speaking, I think it's too slow. So we'll want to maybe speed that part up. We have our own custom notify that lets us update the time scale or playback scale via a curve. If it will let me. We could make this maybe 1.5. Let's see if that'll work. The other montages we need are, of course, input buffering and the blend out. Let's copy those. So we go wham. So it depends if this is going to be our finisher. I think it should be. He's got that cool pose. So we'll want to blend out right about there. And then last but not least is the actual attack traces. So right about here, I think. Might make sense. Let's confirm. Full body, good. But this to me feels like maybe it could be the third one. Combo. There. And then this one, the last section. This one. Okay. So let's see how this looks together. And we have a debug. A couple times to the left will be slower. So that's already wrong, I think, right? So I wanted it to be similar to this one. Where... So yeah, that's wrong in general. So this one? No, that's the skill. So these are all one thing. For this one? No. This is the dash one, right? Yeah. Let's just do one at a time. So this one's the dab on the hater. So that should be the first one. This should be the second one. So let's see. One, two, three. Yeah, right, so we gotta fix the third combo because it's too long before the buffer opens again, because this used to be our combo finisher, combo finisher. So let's look again, and let's look at our warp tracks as well. So 1, 2, so the blend's fucked up, and then that final is also fucked up. So the blend from the third, so let's look. So the third blend in. Hopefully can be quicker. I think it's also because of the positioning and stuff and how it's blending. So let's look. So 1, 2, 3. That looks fine. And then 4. So the fourth one is messed up. So no target warp distance, target basic, offset, warp distance, default warp distance. So something is wrong, I assume, with my warp tracks. Translation seems fine. For some reason that just doesn't look right, so let's take a look in slow motion. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think it's because the combo itself, like these are like no target warp distance basic, right? So this one probably doesn't need to be the same with this one. I think I can make this like 400 or something, just as an example, because we do get some airtime. Maybe it makes sense for him to go a little further. Yeah, so that feels better. Maybe the middle section is too fast. But for some reason this keeps like crashing. I think it's because it's on like do I have to do like a check here? F. I have to assume something, right? My guess is, like, we're doing notify end. So, like, the tick is failing. Okay, like, how do you do this? Not sure if that's gonna be safe or not. But I should also be able to check, like, this event reference, right? At least I thought you could do that in the context of, like, this. But it's the same thing, right? Say, like, if let's just assume for this much. Let's just do that. But in general, I feel that Dagger combo feels a lot better. You're more in control, at least it feels like. So I'm happy with how that turned out. There's more that we have to do. I just can't remember what we have to do. I didn't sleep too well last night today. Today was kind of tiring. I'm trying to think. Because, yeah, there's a billion things that we have to do, but what it is, I do not know. I know we need to do aim offset for the bow. So maybe we can start that. So let me first open a combo. I just want to see if this is going to crash. I'm going to close this at the moment of the attack. Okay, so that's fine. So I also said this was too fast, right? So maybe we can do 1.25. It has to feel like a combo ender. Combo ender. Let's look. I'll see again. The idle pose is all messed up, but let's look. Yeah. So bam, bam, bam. So I don't think that stuff's saved. Let's go back. Daggers. Add, so combo for $50. Dagger combo. Third step, I think it didn't save this either. I did. Okay. So we wanted to make this 0.3, right? So we go over it. Oh, it could be sooner. Bam, bam, bam. Probably this one doesn't have to be as far. We are updating it. Yeah. Wham, wham. I think that looks pretty good. So bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. So the final, like, I'm gonna be nitpicky. Like, for me, I feel like time to go from here to here should be quick. Then the time from here to here would be slower. And then down to 1. So let's just see. That looks okay. Bam, 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 boom. Bam, bam, bam. Still feels slow. Maybe it has to be fast again on the way down. Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, like the first hits of the combo, I feel like need to be faster. So let's do 30%. Let's do time warping. It's basically the time from here. Here, I think it needs to be what's faster. Yeah, so I just copy that and put it into the second. This is also missing a notify, so 30%. It's also 50%. Let's make it 30% to make it feel the same. Paste. Now this is left hand. There. This is from here to about like here, I think is what needs to be faster. Third. One speed, but let's time warp. See? Yeah, seems better. So bam, 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 bam. Maybe this whole thing needs to be 1.5. Maybe it's okay that it's all faster. Seems cool. Go bam, bam, bam. See, like, yeah, sometimes the buffering doesn't feel like it's matching. Go bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. I feel like the third hit isn't coming out sometimes. %. Bam, 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 bam. See how this feels in practice. So we have our dash ability, but bam, oh, he went fucking flying. Hold on. Okay, so this is wrong. The second hit of the combo. It's using the wrong. Wait, something is wrong, I think. Let's look at the warp data. I think that's being drawn already right now. Let's look. The attack. So yeah, that's wrong. But why? Okay, so this is it. So first attack needs to be offset basic. That's what happens when you try to do a bunch of things all at once. Okay, so let's look in slow motion. So bam, bam. Good, but yeah, I'm not sure why he was getting such airtime. Guess it's because I'm trying to get too close. I think the third hit, maybe the third hit is problematic. Like, I'm curious how this would look if I just did it just the one. Bam, bam, bam. It seems okay. Well, let's see it against an actual enemy. So, dash, step. Not sure why he's getting airtime, honestly. Let me 150 just to see this offset, because I don't know if it's really the problem, but we're going to find out. So bam, bam. that's the problem. I think it should just be one single trace as well. We don't need to update the motion warping. That's also part of the problem. Go. Slow motion time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Why is he going flying? Is it because I'm getting just too close? So the third combo, no warp distance. Default warp distance, min warp distance offset basic. Do I need to turn off collision or something in general? Does this happen in normal speed? Yes. Something is wrong with the third. Wholeheartedly full stop. Is it just be like what? Oh, what's this? Look at it again. Oh, good. Good. So what? So 1, 2. Okay, so I'm not. It doesn't have warp translation. So, but this is correct. Hey, thanks for the follow there, K4 through Fish. Cool name. So something is, because I have a translation warp. Melee warp translation, rotation. Dagger combo 3. Is it still getting this update or something? If I were to just take that out, does that make a difference? So let's look. So first hit, cool. Second hit, good. Third hit. So yeah, see how there's still no translation. Do I just have to redo it? We can just assume we can redo it, right? Let's add a notify state for warp. Doesn't hurt to just do it again. That. No rotation in this one. Ignore Z axis translation. Fine. So do we even? Let's not even worry about seeing an enemy just yet. Do we get the green notify? We do. Okay. So step 1. Check. One, 2, 3. Don't know why they're flying. I guess I mean, even if I get close. Yeah, some funky stuff is happening. I could maybe just have... oh! I think I know. Does the dagger have collision? Yes. No collision, please. Let's see. Oh. One enemy, please. Fingers crossed, gang. Let's see. So, bam. Bam. Ah. Something about that hit. Alright, something is telling me this shit has collision. Still. This doesn't happen with other weapons, so... Seems fine, unfortunately. Does this happen? If I unassign this mesh. Technically, the traces are around the body. So it seems like it's not happening, so that's good. Now, a couple things. This should probably be doing traces towards the end here. I could probably revert this back to what it was. So give me a second here. Update. Notifies back, so I just exploded awake. Are you okay, boo-boo? Yes, she is. Okay. So sanity check, Another time. Oh, I jumped. Let me just start over. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Seems fine. Now if I put Dagger back, do I have to do anything special in here when I'm instantiating it? Is there anything with collision? So set collision enabled. No collision. Let's just assume that. At the same time, let's open this back up. So there's no collision, then there's collision complexity. Like, it shouldn't have collision at this point. So let's see. Seems okay. Let's just mac them a bunch of times. Seems good. Like, to me, I think it would be cool if maybe on the way up it does like a hit. So whoop. And on the way down it does another hit. Let's see. That seems to work. So bam, bam. I think the third hit should be separate too. Something like that. Let's see. Because I think one of the benefits of the dagger is like double hits, right? So bam, 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 bam. So obviously the positions of this stuff should probably be sooner. Feels delayed. Just because it's all happening so quickly. So maybe instead of 1.5, it's like 1.25. Yeah, I think that still feels fine. Has a good flow to it, I think. Also have to fix this. Okay, let's try this again. Good. Good. We still got that. Good. Maybe also the final hit's just too fast. Not readable. Bam, 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 bam. I'm gonna have to figure out the sound, but maybe this doesn't have to be a double hit on this last one. Hey, Xander Zhang, thanks for the follow there on YouTube. Much appreciated. Let's just do final tweaks for the evening, and then we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, let's see how this works. I think that works pretty well. So bam, 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 bam. And then bam. We'll just have to obviously do different sound effects and stuff like that. Look at the... Oh my god. Boo boo. My cat has no regard for her own safety. I think that ends up looking pretty good. So let me see. Do we have any Dagger sounds? Guess not. We do have some sound packs. Maybe something like this would be good. Some sound better than others, of course. Well, I would expect Fab not to have anything here, but Dagger sounds. There's medieval sounds. Magic weapon sounds. Melee combat. Preview. Doesn't hurt to add to cart. There's blade sounds as well. Audio preview. Kitchen knives and hunting knives, all these things. This could work too. But yeah, we'll figure out the sounds a bit later. But yeah, in general, I think this works pretty well. I think it's pretty cool. We have all these attacks that are working. We have the blades in the hand. You know, eventually we'll need to update everything so that the right locomotion's playing and stuff like that, but that's another task for another day. So that's where I'm going to end it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching, if you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching from Twitch, make sure to follow. Also, feel free to join our Discord. And check out YouTube, of course. We'll be back on tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We'll jump into the aim offset stuff for the crossbow, or sorry, not the crossbow, for the normal bow and arrow, because we still have that as our secondary weapon, but you'll be able to blend in between these two. And obviously we'll need to make sure that things get properly removed from the hands. You'll see the dagger still in his hands, or both are in the hands actually, so we'll have to fix that tomorrow too. So we'll focus more on the bow. Good job, good work, keep it up, much appreciated, man. Have a good evening. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.